Hello and welcome to the second day of Get Unleashed, your 30 days leadership empowerment program. I'm very happy to welcome you all for the second day. I'm excited. Um, how's your first day? Put it, type it in the chat box, put it in the comments. Uh, did you get to see the video fully? Did you get to see the uh, things fully? Did you get to take actions? Then, type it in the comments, share the video, share the program, share the event with the people. I'm really excited for the day two because day two for me is always a day of actions. A day two is something, we have decided to do this. Day two is something we have decided. Day two is something, okay, I'm committed to do this. So day two is always going to be exciting. Always it is fantastic. And today I'm really happy and excited to discuss something very important for leaders. Um, one skill which separates an ordinary leader from an exceptional leader. The, the one skill which is very important. The skill is not natural. It comes by practice. It is one skill. It is very important. Why do we discuss this in the beginning of the 30 days? It's because this is something which is very important. And I'm really excited to share uh, this skill with all of you. And I hope there are a lot of people who is already practicing it, and there are a lot of people who are struggling to practicing it. Today we are going to see the the entire outscape of the skill, how to achieve that, how to get that, and how to follow that skill, and how to apply that in our leadership formula, right? And again, I'm calling you for the next 29 days. We are following being a leader. We are going to act as if being a leader. Wherever you are, whichever designation you are, start inspiring people, reach out to people, support people, be a leader, reach out to people, contribute to people in any way. It doesn't need to be materialistic. You can spend time with people. That is enough. You can share your knowledge. You can share your education, which you have done with kids. Anything in any form of time, energy, and money and materials, whatever you can able to share it with people and be a leader. And that is what the call for this 29 days is. It's very important. Right. Let's deep dive into the second day session. So, this is one skill, eluding me for a long time. And I was struggling with this skill for, quite some time. And it was after a hard some of the hardest thing happened in the life and some difficulties. So after going through a lot of difficulties and going through fire, I learned the skill. And even now the skill is something somewhere. I was in the learner stage. I'm learning, but this skill is very important to be a leader. What is this skill? Decision making. How many of you accept, or how many of you, there are leaders who might be accepting with me, and there are leaders who are saying, many of us in our life, we always think about, okay, I'm not being allowed to take decisions. Many people who's working keep complaining about it, keep blaming about it, keep cribbing about it, that I couldn't able to take decision about my life. Even if I take decision, somebody comes in and say, no, your decision is wrong, you cannot take this, you cannot do this, this is not right, this is not good. So it is not possible. In business, in workplace, in family, in relationships, with friends, everywhere. When you're taking decisions, you've been stopped. Either you stop yourself thinking that my decision is not up to the level, or I couldn't able to express myself properly. So either you stop yourself or people stop you, right? So something, this decision, this skill is something which many of us envy, that I need this skill. I need decision making skill. I need to take decision about my life. I need to take decision about what I needed, what I have to do, what I wanted in my life, right? And decision, if I say this, decision shapes your destiny. What decision we have taken 10, 15 years back, because of that, we are here today. I'm not coming to say whether you have taken the right decision or wrong decision. Whatever stage you are in the life currently, it is because of the decision which you have taken in the past, right? Our decision, it's not the action, it's not the father of action is decision. You can say father or mother of action, whatever it is, it's decision. Without decision, we cannot take action, right? So decision making is very, very important. It is like a muscle. It's like a muscle building. You have to practice this skill in our life from smallest to the biggest. Many a time we struggle because when it comes to decision making, we always struggle because we take decision only on the important things. That is why we struggle taking that decisions because we have not practiced. We have not been ready for taking decisions. So many of the leaders, so many of the people who are here, who elude taking decisions, who give the responsibility to somebody. You give it to your partners, you give it to your friends, you give it to your wife, you give it to your husband, you give it to many family I've seen, husband take decision, wife don't take decisions, or wife take decision, husband don't take decision. So eluding the responsibilities to the people, or even in companies, you don't take decision about your team, you don't take decision about your partners, you don't take decision about your work timings, you don't take decision about your appraisals, you don't take decision about your growth for this year, you don't take decision about you know um, the improvement which you have to done for this year. Why are we eluding this? Why is it so difficult to take decision? Decision making is something, it comes with practice. It's like muscle building. You cannot do it. Suddenly, you cannot go to a gym and carry 100 kgs. Even if you do one time, next time it will be difficult. Second day, it will be difficult. Third day, it is not at all possible. It will be very, very difficult. So it has to be consistent. You have to start taking decision from, the smallest and then take it to the biggest. Instead of going from the biggest to the smallest, you have to take smallest to the biggest action. Right, right. So decisions shape our destiny. Decisions which we take in our life shapes our destiny. It is very, very, it's absolutely true. Whatever decision we have taken few years back, we are here now. 10 years after, if you what decisions you are taking will take you to the place. Indecision is also a decision. I'm not taking any decision. I don't need to take any decision. I'll go with the flow. That as well is a decision. If you're not taking any decision, or if you're decided not to take any decision, as well, that as well is a decision. Indecision is a decision. I've decided to not decide anything in my life. Let God decide. Let the universe decide. Let my partners decide. Let my parents decide. If you do this, it is as well as a decision. 10 years down the line, think of this. 10 years down the line, you will arrive somewhere. Where do you want to arrive? Where do you want to be? What kind of job you wanted to be? What kind of business you wanted to hold? What kind of house you wanted to live? What kind of relationship you wanted to have? If you decide today, you can shape your destiny for the next 10 years, right? Not next 10 years, throughout the life. But it is very important for leaders to take decision because decision decides the vision of a leader. A leader without a vision is it's so dangerous for the society, for the people around them. A leader without a vision is so dangerous. It is important for leaders to take decisions, right? Leaders to have vision. To have vision, you have to take decision. What is that I wanted to do? What is that I needed to do? Where do I need to contribute? Where do I need to support? Why do I need to, you know, be there? A leader needs to take decision. A leader needs to have a vision. A leader without a vision is so dangerous to everybody around them. So it is important, if you wanted to be a leader, you have to start taking decisions in your life. You have to start applying decision making in your life. Okay, so I've not done this, or I'm doing this, but I'm taking continuously a bad decision. So as I said, it is a muscle, it is like muscle building. Decision making is like muscle building. So you have to start small with small decision. Nowadays we do have a lot of choices. We couldn't able to make decision. Even while ordering food, we cannot order within 5 minutes or 10 minutes. We take 1 hour or 2 hours to make a decision. As if it is, we overanalyze, we go through the ratings of the restaurant, we go through the food, we go through the reviews of the people, then we go to internet, see about the restaurant, go read about their cleanliness, overdo all those things. Those days we do, 15, 20 years back, there will be one or two or three few hotels will be there. We don't have choices. If you don't have food at house, you either have to go there, buy whatever it is there, and come back. Now we have a lot of choices, and as well as the availability of data is, making us to overdo each decision. That is why people elude making decisions actually. So we are going to make decision making a simplified process. How to make decision in a simplified process is what we are going to do today, right? What do you want? What do you want? This is one prolific question which all the leaders should know. What do you really want in life? If this question discomforts you, and there is something which we need to do, or there is a problem currently which we are not addressing, what do you want in life? What do you really want? A leader should know answer to this question, or you should have tried to answer this question. If this question discomforts you, then there is a problem in our fundamental of being a leader, right? So, what do you really want? A clarity. Decision making brings clarity. How many of you have tried answering, what do I really want in life? Have you tried answering this question? What do I really want in life? What do I really need to do? Where do I need to contribute? What is my purpose in life? Many a times, this question is common. If you go and ask anybody, people always run towards, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, and they'll be running behind everything. And make them sit and ask them to write down or ask them this question, what do you really want? I'm sure around 85 to 90%, even more than 90%, people cannot answer what they really want. But our mind is always filled with, I want this, I want that, I want to be there, I want that car, I want this house, I want that job, I want this, I want that. But do everything fulfills you? No. Sometimes we see that, we feel, okay, I want that, and then we'll forget it. We don't take any decisions. We don't take, until we make that as a decision. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to work towards. Even it is materialistic, or even if it is something purposeful, meaningful, fulfilling. If you don't make decisions, what you want in life, you'll be walking without clarity in life. So a leader should have clarity about what he wants in life. So it is important to take a decision. What do you really want? Today I want you to do this. Go sit down, take a paper, write down, what do I really want? What do I really want? This is some years back. I read about an article, a story about Warren Buffett and his pilot. There was a pilot who was, who used to take Warren Buffett in his private jet wherever he goes. And one day, he get to talk to Buffett, and he said, Sir, I'm your pilot for quite a long time. I'm taking you for every place. And suddenly, Buffett said, okay, you're being pilot for with me for quite a long time. Yes, okay. And don't you need to do something else? Don't you need to grow? Don't you feel that you wanted to grow? And he said, I'm doing good. I'm pretty doing good. I'm getting good pay from what I was doing already. No, not that actually. Don't you have any purpose in life? Don't you wanted to do something in your life? What do you really want? And he couldn't able to answer properly, and he said, okay, he asked him to do an exercise. Take a paper, write down 25 things which you want in life. 25 things which you want in life. He asked him to do write down. And even while I was reading this, I was trying to write down 25 things. It is difficult to write 25 things what we really want in life. For some people, it is very easy. For some people, it is very difficult to write even 5 to 10 real things what they really want, what they feel they wanted. It will be difficult. If you want, you can try. And he has written 25 things, and he asked him to, number the um, things, uh, based on the priorities, based on the importance, what he wants the most, one, what he wants the next important most, second, two, three, four, five. He asked him to write the number, and the pilot did it. And he asked him to cancel the remaining 20 and asked him to keep the five. And he said, this is what you really want in life, and try to achieve this first five, and then you can go to the sixth, right? Most of the times when we don't have clarity, we are already reaching out to the number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and leaving out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is why we don't have clarity. That is why we don't have that fulfillment, because we are still searching for something. Because we left the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is our priority, and we are already reaching out to 6, 7, and 8 and trying to fulfill that. And that is why we couldn't able to fulfill ourselves, right? So as a leader, it is very, very important. We have to answer this question: what do you really want in life? Right. Now we are gonna, read about, or we are gonna do a real decision making. Right. I'm gonna give the rules of decision making, and then we are gonna how to remove the fear while we take decisions, how to remove the fear. So these are the two things which you are going to see. First, four rules of making decisions. What are the four important rules of making decision? All important or difficult decisions must be made on paper. Right, this is first thing which we don't normally do. When we take decisions, we keep everything on our head and keep thinking about it again and again and again. We bring solutions, and then we'll run the problem again, and then we'll try to take a new decision. We'll see the alternates, we do everything. Everything happens here. It doesn't come to the physical form. If you have to take a decision, first thing, write it in the paper. Write it in the paper. All the options you have for that decision making. All the options you have to write it in the paper. First thing you have to take is, first rule of decision making is, write down all the options you have related to that decision making. And then be clear about what you want and why you want it. As I said, if you're taking a decision, it is very important to know the possible outcome and why you want it, right? So it is very important to know what you want, and also why do you need that? Why do you want it? Why is very, very important. If your why is bigger, how automatically turns up. If your why is bigger, how automatically turns up. Recently, I wrote an article about Douglas. There is a guy who beat first time there is a guy who knocked out Mike Tyson. Uh, Nobody in the world has believed it is possible because before that, 38 times he's not been defeated, and in that 33 times he knocked out his opponents, and he was the most feared boxer during that time. And Douglas was an underdog, and but he has a clear why. His mother has passed away recently, 23 days back before the uh, fight, and she has asked for a promise. Son, I want you to be the champion. I want you to be the first person to knock out Mike Tyson. And he had that why. Tyson was, when the fight started, the Tyson was furious and punching after punching and nobody has ever got up when they fall down in Tyson's, knockout. And first time there is a guy who got up, and then from the next round onwards, there is a guy who started dominating Tyson, and then he finally knocked out Tyson because his why is so big. When your why is bigger, it doesn't matter if it is a giant who's standing opposite to you, if it is a monster which is standing opposite to you, it doesn't matter at all. How automatically will come if your why is bigger. He fought for his mom. He fought for the promise which he made for his mom to be a champion. And that was his why. That is why Douglas won against, even though he was not famous, even though he was not famous like Tyson or anybody else. But that fight, he won. He conquered the giant, which is undefeated before that. That is why is very, very important. You should be clear on what you want and then why you want it. It is important. And many a times we are also waiting for the absolute certainty. If I do this, will I win? Only if I win, then I'll do that. That is a problem again, An absolute certainty will not be, sometimes your decision might go bad. Good decision is a result of good decision comes from good experiences, sorry, bad experiences, uh, because bad decisions will bring bad experiences. Bad experiences bring good decisions actually. So it is a chain. So if you have to make decisions, even if it goes bad, learn a lesson from that, and then start making decision. Every time we cannot promise your decision will go absolutely right, but don't wait for it. A real action takers, a real leaders learn to take actions. Learn to, I've read about, Jeff Bezos when he said, he invested on another online where he used to sell animals and pets and all this thing. He invested millions of money on that, and suddenly it went on a huge loss. And he said the lessons which he learned on that investment, it was so many $1 million loss, and lessons which he learned on that decision, there that brought him a good experience, and then good experience brought him a good decisions, and good decision made his company number one in the world and made him the richest man in the earth. So it is very important, don't wait for the absolute certainty. Make the decision based on the probability, even if it goes right. You know, prepare yourself to resolve in the sense like learn and then grow from it. That's it. So clarify the order of importance of any outcomes you identify. Try to identify what all the outcomes which comes, and which outcome do you want the most. Clarify it. These are the four major rules of decision making. Okay. If you're making a decision because of a problem, do the following four steps. Decide you're going to solve this problem. Decide to stop focusing on the problem and start focusing on the solution, because where your focus is, your energy flows there. It is very important. If you're focusing on the problem again and again, if you're trying to focus on the problem, then your energy flowing on the problem. Instead, if you focus on the solution, then your energy flows there. So it is important. First thing is decide that you're going to solve this, whatever happens, and then focus on the solution. Okay. And get perspective from others who have successfully dealt with such a problem before. Modeling is very important. Model the person who has already done this, and try to get as much as experience from those people. Leaders. That is why leaders leave footprints. And I'm sure that every one of us here is going to leave footprints. So remember a tough time in your life when you pulled yourself through, sometimes it is important to know how tough nut we are, because sometimes we forgot that. We used to, we don't remember our hard times mostly. You have to remember the hard times. Most of the people who have sick, I've spoken to many cancer survivors and people who have survived cancers. They have they take that as a motivation in their life. They once they survive that, they think, I've fought against death. Now I fought against. Now I can do anything in life. That's what their mentality will be. So remember your tough times. You have gone through so many tough times in the past, and you have already came through that. And it is very important when you're making decisions. It is important to remember your tough time. So and also believe that you're guided as long as you're doing something for the greater good, and that if you're committed, there is always a way, right? Whenever you're taking a decision, it is not only for you, it is always for a greater good. So when you're committed, your way will start automatically appear, right? So these are the rules of decision making. Now we have a fear of decision making. I have a fear of making decision. I cannot able to make decision. I cannot able to make the right decision. These are the problem. How can I tackle this? Even in office, even in my family, even in my relationship, even with my friends, I couldn't able to take decisions because of the fear I have. So it is very important, how can I remove this fear from my life? So these are the things which we are going to see now, right? First thing is identify your fear. What are you afraid of? Sometimes, we are afraid of the past events. We have taken a decision about something and it didn't go well. So past events will come to us and say, okay, I've taken a decision, it didn't go well, so I cannot take decision. My parents, my relatives, everybody was against me, that you have taken a decision, it didn't go well, and that was in my that formed a belief system that I'm not good enough to take decisions. So your past events, past decision making, past events might bring in fear, or the fear of failing. What if I take this decision and fear, I might fail. That is one of the fear. Again, fear of success is as well as, what if I take this decision and become successful, and I've been odd man out with my friend circle, with my relatives, or with my community. What if I become an odd man out? I become successful, I become rich, I become you know a different person. What if I become successful by taking this decision? So fear of success is as well, sometimes fear us to take decisions. So first of all, identify what is your fear. So what identify, write down what are you afraid of. So it is important, what am I afraid of, it is important. And then second thing is, when you're taking decisions, remember, you have to ask this question: does this fulfill my purpose in life? Does this fulfill my purpose in life? See, whenever we talk about fulfillment, dream, goals, and all these things, we talk about materialistic stuff, jobs and status quos. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something which you do and you get fulfilled in life. It could be anything. If you get fulfilled, what things makes you fulfillment? What brings you fulfillment? That is the actual success in life. That is your actual purpose. So uh, identify whether the decision which you're going to take brings that fulfillment, and also align with your purpose. And then the important thing is, when you're taking a decision, also you have to think, if I take this decision today, does this contribute to my growth in life? Does this contribute to the growth in my life? So it is also important to identify what changes in your life if you take this decision. So it is important to know the outcomes. So that is why I said, in the first, write down all the outcomes. So it is important to write down all the outcomes. Knowing the outcomes can help you with this, whether your decision might help you in growing. So, and this is a thing, do I regret? Do this is this is called, actually, there is a method. Um, mm, it's a chair, at the age of 80 or 90, when we are sitting in the chair, do I regret not taking the decision or taken the decision? I should not have taken this decision, or I should have taken the decision. Do we regret? You know, if we have not taken this decision, do we regret in the future? Do we regret? If you do regret, then you have to take the decision. You have to think about this. At the age of if you are in the age of 30, think about in the age of 40. Do you regret not taking this decision? Because we still, currently we are still thinking about the decisions which we have not taken 10 years back. We could have gone to even though our parents pushed us, even though our relatives pushed us, even though society pushed us, we could have gone for a better the subject which we liked, the course which we wanted to do, not what our parents wanted to do. We could have done that. We could have done that, but we have not done it. Even, or we might not have known. Okay, at that point of time, I didn't know that. I still now I know, but I couldn't able to take the decision. After 10 years, think about it. After 10 years, do you still think, okay, I know what course I wanted to do to follow my dreams, to do, to take care of my dreams, but still I don't do that. Do you, after 10 years, will you have that regret? If you have that regret, then start taking the decision. It will remove, think about it after 10 years, longer vision, 20 years after this. If you don't take this decision, what impact it will have on your life? Think about it. Will you regret it? If you regret it, then start doing it. Even if you fail, even if you, no, it doesn't matter if you fail or succeed in decision making. It is about taking the decision and then learning from it and then reframe it. There is no failure, there is no success. It's all about lessons. And then you reframe it and then do it again till you get the outcome which you wanted. So that is what it is, right? So this is how you can remove the fear from your life by looking into your growth, looking into your fulfillment, and then possible outcomes, as well as what are you afraid of, as well as the regret in life, right? As a leaders, now as a leaders, as I said, the method of the skill of decision making is what we have discussed today. As a leaders, it is important to practice the skill every single day in our life. Start taking decisions from small to big, right? Start practicing, practice taking decisions in your life. Practice what you wanted to do today. Practice what you wanted to do in a week. Practice what you wanted to do in a month. Practice what you wanted to do in a year. So if you keep improving, your muscle will get enlarged, and then it'll be easy to take bigger decision. It will be easy when it comes to tough decision, financial decisions, when it comes to career decision. It'll be easy. So as a leaders, wherever you are, whichever positions you are, start practicing, practice decision making skills, right? We come to the end of the day. I wanted to ask you this question. What single brave decision will you make today? What single brave decision will you make today? Just go back and, analyze this, follow all the steps, what we discussed, and then take one decision. What is one single brave decision that we will miss? There are some decisions which we've been putting off for longer time, which we wanted to take, but we are not taking because of, the fear of taking decisions. So I want you to go back, analyze the decision, follow all the steps, write it down, do all the outcomes, write down all the outcomes, do all the analysis, and then take one single decision that I'll be doing this, right? That I'll be doing this, whatever it is, just go do that, right? And we are at the end of the session, end of day two. I'm really, really, really happy of sharing the skill with you, and would love to know your comments on your comments. And once you started applying, what changes you're seeing, please do put it in the comment box, and also share it with your friends, share it with the people, and make sure be there on the live. Live experience is different experience always, and the energy when we get through live is important, right? And again, start acting or start behaving like a leader for the next 29 days. Doesn't matter. You don't need to be appointed. You're already been appointed if you're here as a leader, right? And all the best. Let's meet tomorrow again at the same time, 9 p.m. And I'm going to come up with one more important skill, which is very, very important for tomorrow. Same 9 to 9:30. We're going to meet. I know I've taken 5 more minutes extra, but let's meet tomorrow. I'm sure it is worth it. And have a wonderful night. Sleep well. All the love, all the power. Good night.